Now, at stage when we are told that there is no divide, the mind is not prepared to it, though it intellectually agrees, it is not prepared to accept it. That is the problem all of us are facing. But we keep on, we have no other goal, there is no shortcut. We have to keep on trying. One thing that comes to our mind is that though we may not be able to bring everything into that fold, as much as possible we will try. Previously, when we were going to the puja room, or when there are certain important occasions when we go to our puja room again, when we go to a temple, when we go to an ashram, when we go for a satsang, when we go for an annam session, when we go for a special bhajan, we all feel, we are moving closer to the remembrance of God. Initially, we may think God is outside. But all these things were to prepare us to go inward. So when we are drawn to Papa's teachings, umpteen number of times he has asked us to go within, go within, go within. It is difficult, but since we have no other go, we have to keep on trying. And then we recognize or realize that during the non-chanting time, non-bhajan time, non-satsang time, non-temple visit time, non-ashram visit time, if we can link that to God dimension, because that is the one which clearly divides. When I go for family, household activities, when I go for my professional activities, when I go for my social activities, they are not taken as spiritual activity. But somehow we have to keep on hammering that whether I am doing household activities or my professional activities or social activities, I am there, The individual is there, and if the individual has to function, God has to be there in the form of life force, awareness, intelligence, productivity, creativity. So the person is there, whether at home or in the field of profession or society or in a temple or in an ashram or in a Ramnam session or in a bhajan session or in a satsang session. We are there, Unless the person is there, we will not be able to even name. And the person is not merely a bundle of bones, blood, body, mind and intellect. So unless he is there, the individual is not there. And if the individual is not there, there is no other life. So like that, when we start reflecting deeply, we may slowly able to remove the divide. But the old habits will come and take us away. Doesn't matter. Immediately we should know, I'm going to office, urgent office challenges, office duties. How can I bring? Hey, you are there now. Immediately you can say, you are there. And you are there because God is there. The other day, Puja Swamiji was making a mention, when you see the paper, when you see the table, when you see the cup. So some effort has to be made. It will not go easily. For so many years, we have developed this divide. So one fine morning, it will not go. But you have to keep on hammering. If I am there, he has to be there. that immediately helps us to remove the division. The microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. God dwells in every being thing, however small, in his entirety and perfection.
You are muted, Swamiji. It is muted.
No, it's not muted.
Muted, muted.
No, it is not
We are not
muted.
able to hear.
Oh,
We are not able to hear.
sorry. But somebody was asking,
Yes.
That one may have touched it and may have gone. I'll remove the mouse and let's to the side.
We could hear all the things. Only last one line or something we could not hear.
Last line will come. Only last line they will come.
So now the question was about how to remove the divide between spiritual and material.
Swamiji, we heard when you said in all its entirety, in all the entirety,
Up to that.
God is in all beings, in all creatures. Entirety in perfection. Entirety in perfection.
That He is there within us. So when He is within us, He means the spirit. Anything connected with the spirit is called spiritual. So anywhere and any time, the spirit is with us. This we came to know only when we got in touch with the spiritual preceptor, Guru. So when the Guru drew us to himself, he made us aware first intellectually that God is within all of us. The form of the spirit, the form of life, the form of awareness, the form of intelligence, without which we are not there anywhere. So can there be any divide between spiritual and material? This we have to keep on reflecting, because at this time we are convinced the moment we go out of the session and deal with men and matters, the divide again comes. So to begin with, we can suggest that we try in as many places or as many periods as possible. Slowly then stretch. Whenever we get a pause moment, we try to bring in this. You are with me, you have been with me, you are with me, you have been with me. Whenever I feel you are away or you are not there, I call it as worldly. It is not that you are away with me. Whenever I am not aware that you are with me, you are with me. I call it as worldly. Whenever I feel you are with me, I feel it as spiritual. But the truth is, He is with us, He has been with us. There could be some other way, but this is the way that struck to us. The quotations of Papa keep on coming back to us as signposts, Whenever we find some doubts, the signpost again comes up and says, did they not tell you this? Now reflect. Start moving toward that. So for anything and everything, the subject should be there, the sense of individuality should be there. The sense of individuality, if it has to function, the spirit should be there. At home, in the office, with friends. But whenever the individual is not aware of this truth, it names it as worldly activity. Whenever it becomes aware of the truth, it names it as spiritual activity. Now we are trying to understand through our sadhana, in our case Ramna, that there is no divide, there is no divide, there is no divide. You remember Papa's words? Everything happens only by his will. Whatever is happening only by his will. Means what? Will of the spirit, Atma. So how can there be a divide? Because we have not experienced, this doubt will come to us. So we are trying. Experience will come only with our constant trying. Because we have forgotten, absolutely we have forgotten this. Even now we don't think we are remembering. Though for a 5 or 6 decades you must have been doing Ram Nam. Ram Nam chanting is going on, but we never understood that he is within us and it is his name we are chanting. He is making us to chant. So to us he is still separate. So even people who have been associating with the ashram, if they find it like that, however, people who have not had the opportunity at all, it will be difficult for them to accept it. This is a very, very valid question. In spite of hearing so many things, still we are unable to mean what? It stays at a particular level, not entering into us. So we pray to him. Why don't I have understood? I have understood. There is no doubt about it. But why is it that I am forgetting? Or why are you making me to forget? Yesterday we got another email from a devotee. A thought-provoking. We all have heard that everything in life happens by the will of one supreme power. It is only that power that works. We have also been told that the supreme power has become everything and resides in everything. Another assertion is that each individual is born into this world to work out the effects of his previous life or lives under the law of karma. Now the question is, if I am born here in this life because of some previous karma, why was I born at all for the first time? When I could not have performed any karma earlier. Having been born, when everything happens by the will of the Supreme, when I am incapable of performing any action by myself, why should the effects of those actions bind me and become a cause for further births, considering that those actions were not actually performed by me? So in the very first place, the embodied soul is being held responsible for some actions which he was incapable of performing. So the first. It's a very, very valid question. Why did I start forgetting him now? And that is why I am finding it difficult to remember it. Not only from my birth, over so many births, I have forgotten him and I am functioning as an individual and got into the karmic triangle. So this is something on which we have to apply our mind. And so first, in Adi Shankara's Atma Bodh, it is mentioned that there are 3 bodies: the gross, the subtle, and the causal. Gross, the physical body. Subtle body is mind, intellect, 5 pranas, 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception. So 3 into 5, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. Pancha prana mano buddhi deshendriya samanvitam. And then the causal body. Causal body is very important for us. So the gross and subtle bodies are caused by the causal body. First one. The first question, primary question. And what is this causal body? Adi Shankara, who has scaled the heights, he said in that particular sloga, Anadi Avidya Anirvachya Karano Padirchate. This causal body cannot be explained, it is Anadi, beginningless. So, why did I forget? Or why he made me to forget? When I came to this world as an individual first, this question cannot be answered by us. So that is why Papa puts it in a different way. Because later on, when due to our spiritual exercises, inward journey, we have been promised by Mahatmas that we will realize unless we forget about him, we will not be involved in any activities. So he says, so we can therefore infer that ignorance of the awareness of the self is there right from the day of creation. That is why it's called Anadi. Just as we say Adi Antarida Parama Puja Bappa, that is God is Adi Antarida, Anadi. So when we say God is there, the static form is there. But when it comes to the dynamic form, this forgetfulness, this becoming unaware of his presence is there. That is why it's called Anadi. You have to think about it. We can therefore infer that ignorance of the awareness of self is there right from the day of the creation. Because then only the creation will be involved in activities. We sit, we go beyond the purview of the thoughts. What happens? When we know that he is there and we get immersed in his blissful existence, there won't be any activity. That's what we infer. So that is why the creator, the creating power, ensured that the creation does not remember the creating power behind it. So allowed it to function as independent. So that activities are. This is one aspect. Activities have a knack of binding us, which is called the karmic angle. The likes and dislikes, rights and wrongs, all these develop only when we are involved in activities. And it entails us in the karmic angle. We develop attachment, we develop infatuation, we develop so many cravings. And all these things leave a deep impress, which is called vasanas, even after the act. And these vasanas are the capital with which we start our next life. So activities have a knack of binding us, which is what is called karmic wrangle. This is also called as Maya, or as explained as the Leela of the Lord. Why did he do that? We cannot question that. Why did I come? I don't know. Yes, we don't know. Then we know that there is a power behind our very coming, When we don't know why we have come, why we are born.
Swamiji, is there power behind making us forget him also, no?
Right from our starting day. And at the chosen time, the power prompts us to take us to such of the souls who have understood this, who have realized this, and he facilitates us, the power facilitates us to get in touch with that Mahatma, the evolved soul. And then we intellectually first understand, we get inspired, and then we start moving towards that, and then we scale the heights. This is all part of his.
Swamiji, otherwise the cycle goes on. I forget him because I don't remember him. I don't remember him because I forget him. So this cycle keeps on going. It's a vicious cycle.
But a stage will come when we know we have been promised by Mahatmas, not one Mahatma. A galaxy of Mahatmas are there who have reached that and who are called the Gurus, Mahatmas. And they continue to inspire us whether they are in body or not. And then we are assured, oh, a day will come when I will also realize him. And then view not that I am quitting, I view the whole life as his Leela. So according to Birivar Papa, our effort now is to come out of the karmic bondage by trying to become aware that right from the seed level up to this moment, he has been with us, behind every thought, every word, every deed. And this process would ultimately result in the avidya getting erased. Avidya means here ignorance getting erased. For this to happen, of course, we need his grace. Individual cannot do it. In God experience, it is clarified as follows. Somebody asked Papa, why did God create human being? It's a fundamental question. Why did God create human beings? So Papa said that this is not the question. The question is how to free ourselves from the bondage of desires. Because if we cannot get an answer, why did God create it is His will, no? Why did He give sweetness to sugar cane? Can we ask? Why did He give bitterness to the bitter gourd? Why did He give spiciness to the chilies? Why did He give sourness to tomato or anything like that? Different tastes. Why did He give different colors to different flowers? To whom shall we ask? Similarly, why did He create human beings? So He said bluntly, this is not the question. It has happened, okay. This question is how to free ourselves from the bondage. Bondage of desire. A bird is caught in a cage and it thinks for itself, who put me in the cage and why? And how many years I have been here? If it thinks like that, its whole life will be wasted in captivity and no release can come. How to get out ought to be the one problem for it. If it sees a small loophole somewhere, at once it will get out. Similarly, you find that you are covered by a veil. It is for you to cast it off. You can do it at once and say, I am birthless and deathless. But the worldly objects attract you so much that you have not the will to do so. You have created your own bondage. Know that the power to free yourself is within you. You are your own friend, you are your own enemy. Then why? When you throw off the veil, you are your own friend. If not, you are your own enemy. So these are all the thoughts that came up in answer to that question. It has come. Somewhere, sometime I have had my first birth. I could not have had the previous record of karma at that time. No, then we go to Bhagavad Gita, no? Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. It is not sometime or somewhere. Can we say when the first lady's finger came? First mango, first coconut? We can't. That is why he answered, Sarva Bhutanam, I am the Bijam. Our puny intellect will not be able to get the answers. He has built it. Just like one seed of tomato or green chilies, which everybody can easily understand. When we put the seed in a prepared ground, when it sprouts, it becomes a seedling, then a plant, then with branches, then the flowers, then finally the fruition. And in one, there could be so many chili. And in one chili, there will be minimum 20, 30, 40, 50 seeds. That is how it got self-propagated. But we all owe to that first one, you know. In Aitri Upanishad, it is listed how the world came. Elaborately have discussed. So when he comes to man, up to that, first space, then air, then water, fire, then earth, then trees, fruits, and then comes human being. So we prepared all these things and started. Eh? So many things are there. They have all done elaborate research on this. That is how the Upanishads came. And later on, the quintessence of it came in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvopanishado gavo, we say. So the quintessence of all these things are put in the Gita so that we can easily remember. So, in somewhere, sometime I had, it's not like that. We have come from here. Just like we don't know the first paddy, the first paddy seed, which propagated into so many varieties in so many places all over the world. The first one, because we know that one seed can bring out so many seeds. That is how it got spread, propagated. So we all owe to that Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. So why born? Because he willed it. And so long as we are limiting ourselves to this individual level, it will be difficult to get an answer. So we have to employ some other method by rising above. Even the intellect, the thinking faculty, where from it has come. That is why in the particular shloka he says, Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam Vidhi Partha Sanadana Buddhir Buddhivadamasmi. I am the intelligence of the intellect. Now that I am here again supposedly to work out my past karma, how is it that the so-called past karma is attributed to me? Because all actions were indeed performed by and at the instance of the Divine Mother. I was incapable of any action. All power was in. Even now it is there. But in order to remember him, the sum total of all my individual actions so far done is to make me unaware of his presence. The moment I become aware that it is his will, who is aware? That is not the way to express, but I don't know how to express it. So the moment the realization comes that it is his will, then this questioner will not be there now. The doubting Thomas will not be there. That is the beauty of it. That is why finally they give this word worldly lila. It is the play of the Lord. It is not the real, it is the play of the Lord. But when I am in the stage as an actor, I will not identify with my original person. Only when I go back to the green room, I become the old self. So when I am here as an individual, I play as an individual and I suffer, I enjoy, all those things are happening. But when, by the grace of Lord, through a realized soul, when I am told repeatedly, you are not what you assume yourself to be, then I start inquiring, who am I?
Swamiji.
Think, think.
Swamiji.
Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real question. If I am identifying as an individual, the problem will be there. I cannot go beyond certain level. How was I born? I was born to my parents. Oh, and they were born to their parents, and they were born to their parents. How long can you say? Up to 2 or 3 generations, probably you may be able to figure out. Then you have to simply repeat. They were born, they were born, they were born.
Time immemorial. Time immemorial.
To know who you are in reality is the real question. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and then embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. So from the individual to the original nature. So all of us are struggling because we are still in the individual level and then trying to find out the cause for the individual level. It has got its limitation. Beyond certain level, we cannot. Because it
this point that you said about going to the green room and removing the paint and see the real me.
We have to keep on thinking. In our case, we have explained all these things, but probably everybody would have forgotten. When we were in our SSLC class, when for the first time this youth festival was introduced in Kerala, 58, 59, everybody was enthused, excited over it. And we were 16 boys and 3 girls. I was the youngest one, not even 14 years. Everybody was given some role, some job, some activity. I was not given any role. So I felt, terribly dispirited. So the Malayalam Pandit was organizing this and assigning various people. He looked at me and called me. You feel you don't have anything? No. Then he said, you have got a wonderful assignment. What is that? You are going to be the director of a small script. Oh, not excited. What am I to do? He said, I will give you the script. You have to learn by heart. I will give you 2 or 3 people who will act. And your job is to make them know their part of conversations. And you must tell them how should they act. Their physical activity, physical, what do you call it? Body language. And then you have to watch them. But one thing I tell you, you will not be in the sea. Even on the day of performance, nobody will see you. But in you lies the efficiency of those others. Oh, I was enthused, learned everything by heart in 3-4 days' time. And for each and every character we wrote their part, and then we started rehearsing. They will forget, again we remind, they will forget, again we remind, and their action, moving, handing, stretching the hand, looking down, up, sorrowful, happy, all those things, we have to keep on telling them. And when the Malayalam Pandit was satisfied that they are ready for the performance. On the last day, big crowd. On those days, there was no other entertainment for the local villagers. So they will all come to the school. We had no electricity for Petromax. And then only for the stage, they used to have this generator. With the tractor will be there, tractor engine. That will be connected to the generator, and the electricity will be there for a short time. So, one by one program was over, hours was listed, and then it was about 10 o'clock or 10:30 in the night. Big crowd. We were all nervous, but still, we thought we would be able to do it. And all the 3 or 4 actors were there. I was inside behind them. The audience will not see me, but I should be very vigilant. So I tell them, move a little forward, stretch your hand, look up, look down, like that. And they will forget the dialogue, so immediately we give them dialogue. And finally, they came out very well and good applause. And after that, the Pandit, the teacher, Malayalam Pandit, called me and took me to the dais, and then this boy, he was the director of this. A thrill was there. Then, when I went through one poem in the same class, those of you who don't know Malayalam will not be able to understand, but still I have to repeat it in Malayalam. Agame nilagondu, adadu chuvadugal, അരുത് എന്ന് ധരിച്ച് അടിയന് കാട്ടിത്തരുവോൻ അവിടുന്ന് അന്യർ ധരിക്കാതെ. Sitting behind. You are telling me which is right, which is wrong. Go ahead, don't go ahead. No? Do this, don't do this. Agame nilagondu, sitting inside. Every step, adadu chuvadugal, arudu, do this, do it. And you are doing this without making others to know. And if I see that you are doing it, this process makes me feel I am doing it. But when I look at you, അകമേ നിലകൊൺ കഥാത് ചുവടുകൾ ആമരുതെന്ന് തിരിച്ച് അടിയന് കാട്ടി തരുവോൻ അവിടുന്ന് അന്യർ ധരിക്കാതെ. Nobody else will be able to see that you are directing me. Even I don't know that you are directing. The moment I realize that you are directing me from within, then I will be leading a peaceful life. Then there was a practical demonstration here. I was directing them. They don't know. The audience will not know that I am directing them. But each and every step is watched and guided by what I say. And I have been given a script. And finally you get an applause. So this is possible in a worldly level also. And here we are trying to understand that He is there inside us. And He is telling us do this and do that. But because we don't realize that He is doing it, we got into this karmic triangle. This is the science. It is not something it is a science. The moment we forget Him, we are caught in it. The moment we remember Him, we are not caught in it. Because He is telling us we are doing it. The plus and minus, it goes to Him only. Get up. We say, from the back side, you now get up, He gets up. Now sit. Move right side, okay. Move left side, okay. He does exactly what I give him behind the scene. This is what is happening in all of us. If we try to understand, because we were given this role and we were given this, and later on when we try to understand this, it becomes somewhat clear that there is a power within us who is guiding my thoughts, words and deeds. I am unaware of it. I identify totally myself with this thinking, acting, doing, suffering, enjoying, and I forget that He is there. So now we are trying, because of the grace of God, through Guru, He made us aware of this vital point. Now I just read out, Papa's words. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. When I identify myself as an individual, this problem will be there. You will not get any answer. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend, go beyond all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and then embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. Then I am free from karmic triangle. I will not be there to say that. No? I am not there. No? I am free. The moment I identify, then naturally it is from the karmic triangle. So this is a question that cannot be directly answered, but we can get the answer when we go within. So it is not that somewhere, sometime I had my first one. Now we know very well, without the cause there cannot be any effect. That He has taught us. And there should be a first cause for me. And that cause is causeless. We cannot attribute any cause to that. And then, certainly, when I did not have the first birth, I was free from karma. That means I was in that blissful state. So when he willed that I should come as an individual, naturally I have to. Why? I cannot ask the why. Papa also bluntly says the why and whereof. There is no why and whereof. Yes, that also he says. We have to go to the Guru and ask these questions, and then he answers this, in a mysterious way. God's creation is therefore before you, just as you have the light before the sun. In other words, it is the very nature of God to reveal himself as the entire cosmos. Here the question of why and wherefore does not arise. Why the sun is doing this? Can you ask? If you look at the world from its source, which is God, you cannot but visualize all activities of creatures and things in nature as the Leela of the Lord. So only through inward journey. Because when you ask the individual, it is true that I was born. No, I don't need any another proof. I am born, I am here. And I must have born because there must be a cause. And that cause, I don't know. So again, the scriptures say that God is the Lord of the universe. God is the source. Beyond that, I cannot go. I have to travel and become that to know. And however much we discuss, we may not get the answer fully because we are still in the clusters of our mind intellect. Whereas this is beyond the mind intellect. How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? When we read out these words, you are aware, no? You hear, you understand. How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? Even to search, you need that power, no? So how can this search reveal that this is the source? I don't know how to make it clear. How could you possibly search for that which is right now aware of these words? So when we read these words, when you hear these words, you are aware, no? You become aware. What is that? What is that which becomes aware? Can you explain? It is not tangible. Just like the electricity. We cannot show this is electricity, electric power. We cannot. But we know electric power is there. Similarly, the awareness, the life force, it is not palpable. It is not something that can be objectified. But we know it is there. It cannot be explained. So, because even to explain, it has to be there, you know.
Like how you had mentioned that on a moon day it's dark and we sit without any light. How we come to know we are there.
Yeah. Correct. On the Amavasi day, when you are sitting in pitch dark, you are alone in this room. You need a light to know everything else, is it not? But do you need a light to know that you are sitting? No. What is that light? Can you explain that light? No. But you know that, no? That is that. It is so subtle, you know. Why did Papa define it as subtle and mysterious power? Ram is the subtle and mysterious power. It is so subtle, it is not gross. Gross can be objectified. Subtle can be only experienced. And it is mysterious. We cannot say through this form only, through that form only. No. So he properly named it as subtle and mysterious power. So again, going back to our origin, this is what Papa wanted. Every one of us, when we are chanting Ram Nam, when we have been told we are chanting the name of Ram, who is within us, who is making me to chant, that will put us on a process. That is how he scaled the heights. He does not say that is the only way. That is how he scaled the heights. That is why he has brought out all these things. That means whatever questions now we are welling up in the minds of a sadhaka has developed in him also. And he did not seek any answer from outside. He went in deep, deep, deep and found out the answer one by one, one by one. But in his case, when he was exclusively on it, he could do it in 2 years' time. We did not have to wait for these decades, like what we are doing. Because he exclusively sat on it. Exclusively means exclusively, full time. And he started going deep within, deep within, deep within, and find out the answer one by one and reveal. The same thing as things are revealed by Shankara in Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita. But when we read Papa's, we don't feel the dryness. Otherwise, we feel the dryness. Because he will bring the devotional aspect of it. And join with this, so that he names him as Ram. That itself is, he did not say it is inexplicable, this and that. He put a name. Later on, he said it stands for the subtle and mysterious power. And the devotional aspect. I remain as a Bhakta, he remains as a Bhagavan. So there is an easiness, there is a softness, and then, I am trying. I know now, intellectually I know that these words are coming because he is there within, and the life force, and prompting and propelling to say these words. So they said the individual sense of individuality is there, and the power behind the sense of individuality is there. So Bhagavan is there, Bhakta is there. So there is a softness in it. It is not dry. And the Bhakta realizes that he has come from Bhagavan. And the Bhagavan makes visible to everybody through Bhakta only. It is intertwined, interdependent, to be more blunt. You cannot be with him, he cannot be with you. When we read that, we were unable to understand. Then later on only the reflection comes. If the Nirguna, Nirvirigara, Nirakara, Shashwata, Ananda Swarup, how will we know? Only through a akara, form. So the formless is known because there is a form. That is why it is a formless. Through the form, we are trying to see the formless. That is why it is named as formless. So first comes what? Form. So form and formless are intertwined. So that is why he is Bhakta and Bhagavan. So Ramdas would, though Ram and Ramdas are one, Ramdas would always like to be the Das of Ram. That sweetness is there. The dryness is not there. Otherwise, when we go through this Jnana Marga, there is a dryness. We cannot go beyond that. But here, the advantage he has placed before us is, though it is an abstract theory he is bringing, the same as Jnanis, but here he is a Bhakta, Jnani Bhakta. Hanuman. The other day you were telling, you remember? Hanuman Chalisa day. What was that? When Hanumanji was asked, who are you? Anybody remembers?
As an individual, I am pure devotee. I am as a Jiva, I am a part of you. As the being self, I am part of you.
I am? That's a beautiful observation, no? When he was asked, Papa says in his article, as body, I am your humble servant. As an individual, I am part of you. And as Supreme Soul, I am yourself. See the way? When he was once asked by Lord Rama to be yours, he could boldly reply, as body, I am your humble servant. As an individual, I am a part of you. As Supreme Souls, I am yourself. That means different stages, Papa calls it as, objectless happiness. The final stage. Satchit Ananda. Ananda is that stage where there is only bliss, but it is not dependent upon any object. So that is the final. So less than that, I am an individual and I don't exist without him. Therefore, he should be there. And so I am part of him. And then, as body, I am separate, but I am his servant. So as body, I am his servant. As an individual, I am part of you. As the soul, I am one with you. I think today this is the summum one. If we try to understand these three words of Hanumanji, it might help us. That means I will retain, it is not that the sense of individuality goes. Because of the science involved in it, it feels that it has come because of the karmic triangle. Karmic triangle word it shall we don't know. It is Anadi. Because he wanted so many creations. So if the creation becomes aware of the creator straight away, the creation will not have any activity. It will not feel it is separate. Only when it feels separate, some activity can be generated. So naturally, he has to put a screen where the God's presence is not known by the creation. And then he gives them a long rope, and there is a science how to get this karmic triangle. And one fine morning, when he wills that we should, time is up, we have to hold back our part and become one with the universe, one with the cosmic power. Then he makes us to get in touch with the realized soul who has scaled the heights, who gives us some idea. With that idea, we try to move forward. We try to evolve our own method, and finally become one with the